Dipty's joining us now with the paper review. Lots of reactions, of course, to Donald Trump's proposed peace plan for Gaza. What's being said, Dipty?
Well, Stuart, the pressure is on Hamas to accept the ceasefire proposal. That's what The Guardian says on its front page today. Accept the deal or face the consequences. That's really the ultimatum that is being issued to the group here. You have this from the Belgian paper Le Soir, which actually uses that word, ultimatum issued to Hamas. Now, Donald Trump's peace plan includes the withdrawal of Israeli troops, the disarming of Hamas, and then Gaza would be governed by a sort of apolitical peace committee headed by Trump himself and other heads of states. There's a great front page from Libération today, the French paper, which uses a wonderful play on words. It says l'heure de la paix, so is this the hour for peace? But l'heure, in this case, this word here, the way it's written, means it's a homonym meaning sort of invisible, or rather an illusion. Now, the Jerusalem Post, for its part, focusing on the fact that potentially hostages could be home in 72 hours under the Trump proposal. Well, this from Al Arabi Al Jadid, a pan-Arab paper, Stuart, here talking about how Hamas is studying the proposal and will respond in due course, it says.
I expect the opinion writers have had a bit of a field day as well, Dipty.
Yeah, I mean, the general feeling is that this is a very ambitious plan, perhaps too ambitious. In fact, that's what The Guardian says here in this article, that peace is far from guaranteed. It says that at first glance, the plan appears the most likely plan to end the war in Gaza than anything we've seen before. But peace is far from guaranteed, mainly because Hamas is very unlikely to agree to a plan that obliges them to give up most or all of their arms. And you sort of have this a similar opinion here from The Conversation, this Australian academic website, which here says, calls the peace plan a bit of the old, a bit of the new, and the same stumbling blocks.
Let's move to something different now. Those stories that we were talking about just before the press review, in fact, Gen Z protests gripping both Morocco and Madagascar.
Yeah, let's start with the Moroccan press. This is from Tel Quel, a news site that looks at Gen Z 212, the name of these protests given to the wave of protests in Morocco, 212 being the Moroccan country code. Really, the protests have been formed online through TikTok, Instagram, and Discord. They've been agitating for 3 days now for better health and education facilities, with some clashes as well with police, as we've been seeing now. This website here, another Moroccan website, notes that the sit-in that was conducted by protesters was fairly peaceful, noting they also represent a majority that has so far been voiceless in Morocco, because indeed 41% of Moroccans are under the age of 25. Now, let's head to Madagascar, where protests there turned deadly. This website here noting dozens of deaths in clashes between protesters and police. It comes after Ange Razoel, the president of Madagascar, dissolved the government in a speech to the nation yesterday. On Monday, he addressed these protests. He said that he would dissolve the government. He also told protesters their demands have been heard, and he apologized for the government not doing its job.
Let's bring you some French stories now. Emmanuel Macron, French president, of course, met with Michelin-starred chefs at the Élysée Palace yesterday. This, though not a light affair, is to address a crisis in the world of restaurants.
Yeah, they certainly weren't cooking for him yesterday in the Élysée Palace, Stuart. They were serving him a dose of reality, if you like, because they were warning about this existential crisis that's taking place in French fine dining establishments. The country has seen a wave of closures of restaurants. Many say it's because French people simply can't afford fine dining anymore. The chefs present told the president that fast food and takeout are also to blame, and that French culinary traditions could disappear as a result of this. So they're really urging the president to do something about it. It's actually the focus of the Times of London's editorial today, which really wasn't very impressed by this meeting. The paper euphemistically accusing Macron of fiddling with his whisk.
I love that headline. It's very nicely put. Finally, from Dipty, French basketball player Victor Wembanyama preparing for the new NBA season.
Yeah, apparently Wembanyama, who 21 years old, has spent the off-season bulking up ahead of his return to the San Antonio Spurs. It actually appears to it that he's grown a couple of inches.
Oh. Wow.
At the age of
More?
21. He's now listed at 7'4" after spending last season at 7'3". But from a very tall young man to a very flexible old lady, let's end with this story. It's wonderful. A 102-year-old yoga teacher, the New York Times has profiled her. Her name is Charlotte Chopin. She actually lives here in France in the Loire Valley. She's been teaching yoga for 40 years, Stuart.
Wow.
She actually kind of went viral a couple of years ago because she was on the French talent show, France Has Got Talent, and she executed a whole series of complex yoga poses. And that actually led to Narendra Modi making her an ambassador of yoga. Even a recent car accident didn't stop her. She was back teaching yoga after just 3 months at the age of 102.
102. Look at that picture at the top there,
It's
Dipti.
incredible. It's incredible.
Can you give us a demonstration?
Maybe not now, Stuart.
When she gets to 102, Dipti will give us a demonstration. We'll have her back on air at that point. Dipti Gallerong with the papers for us on France 24.